Here's the next thing. As part of building our resorts and our subdivisions, I started sourcing where to get really great deals on houses around the world. And we found a company in China. This company was started by a Canadian Chinese businessman from Montreal who moved back to China, and it's unbelievable what he's doing. I'm going to show you these cottages first.
Hey, my name's Ken Dunn, and I'm a real estate investor. I want to welcome you to the No Money Real Estate Podcast. On this show, I'm going to interview elite level real estate investors from all over North America, and I'm going to help you to see one thing that all successful real estate investors have in common. They built their portfolios without using a dime of their own money. I've got a portfolio of $300 million in real estate. That includes resorts, apartment buildings, commercial buildings, and I've built the entire portfolio without using a dime of my own money. Real estate is a business that anybody can get into, but the strategies that those tight real estate investors use to build massive portfolios have been kept secret for decades. Now, because of this show, I'm going to reveal them to you. So let's get started.
This cottage on the right, I own a cottage in Bancroft, Ontario that we built for $400,000. And it's unbelievable because I can get the same cottage from China for 50% cheaper. What you're looking at right now, where you see 750 square foot cottage, one bedroom, $95,000. Well, this is a company in China that I work with who will give me all the building materials, interior, exterior, the bathroom, the kitchen cabinets, the kitchen countertops, everything. All the plumbing materials, all the electrical materials, all the insulating materials, all the windows, all the doors. And you know what? Everything is to Canadian standard. And they pre-build all the walls. It's all done with spruce lumber from British Columbia. I've already tested this. It already meets Ontario building code or the building code in any province. So now I order all of these things from China. I can build houses 50% cheaper than anybody in Canada can. If you join the Investors Growth Syndicate, I will give you access to these systems and I'll help you to choose the right things and do the whole deal. It's unbelievable. This is 2 bungalows that I bought for $10,000 each, installed for my gold mine. They're 3-bedroom houses. It's great. And then we started doing even more from China. And this is going to lead me to one of the things I think so exciting. So we started off looking at houses. And then we're building our resorts, right? So we need everything for our resorts. MUSKOKA chairs, loungers, barbecues, heat lamps, all kinds of stuff. And we started looking at different ways we could get these things from China at cheaper costs. And I'll tell you the biggest thing that happened. 2 years ago, I did a real estate investor summit. You see me and Kevin O'Leary on the top. That screen behind me is 10 feet high, 60 feet long. I rented it for a weekend for $180,000. I was so pissed off that I had to spend so much money to rent that. I got my guys. I have a full-time procurement guy on my team. I said, go find those screens in China because I knew they were made in China. How much will I have to pay? He got me a 40-foot screen. So remember, the one up above is 60 feet. 40 feet. You can see the 2 screens. You put them together, it's 40 feet wide. He got me that for $15,000. MUSKOKA chairs. With my resorts that I'm opening, I need 250 MUSKOKA chairs. And we wanted to buy, these are the really nice plastic ones. These ones are at a cottage I own in PEI. Well, those chairs cost me $300 each. I can get those same chairs from China for $70. Kitchens. So at our resort in Napanee, Ontario, we've already bought all the kitchen equipment for the resort. It cost us $495,000 for the kitchen equipment. And it's everything in a commercial kitchen. Ironically, right now, we're about to begin construction on a new fine dining French restaurant in Whitby, Ontario, where I live. And ironically, the kitchen is exactly the same size. I got my guys to go to their contacts in China, and we found the company who supplies the largest kitchen equipment supplier in Canada, who makes it. And we went to this company and we determined, they told us that they made the kitchen equipment that we paid $495,000 for. So we went to them and we said, okay, we now need to order the same type of equipment for our restaurant in Whitby, 301 Row. They gave us a quote for $45,000 for the same damn kitchen equipment. Our cottage is at Hay Bay. I already bought all the furniture for the cottages. I paid about $30,000, $30 to $48,000. $48,000 was like the high-end cottage for a 3-bedroom cottage, for all the furniture inside. Then we went to China and we found the company that makes all the furniture for the Marriott hotels. And we now are just ordering the furniture for our cottage resort at Lake St. Peter, same size cottages. When we bought the furniture in Canada for our Hay Bay cottages, $48,000, the same furniture now is costing us $5,500 per cottage. So the reason I'm telling you all this is if you join the syndicate, because this is working so well for us, we decided that we have a procurement officer. Full-time, he works for my company. His name is Eric. That's all he does. So if you're in the syndicate and you want to buy anything and save money, we've had members get riding lawnmowers for their property. We have members get new barbecues. We've had members refurnish their whole houses at a fraction of the price. You get access to the procurement guy. Type the number 1 in the chat right now if you'd love to join the syndicate just for that one benefit alone. Forget all the rest. The idea of being able to buy everything you need for your house and your life at pennies on the dollar, who wouldn't want that? So that's what I'm doing, friends. As we build our company, and we're very innovative. We're always looking for ways to save money, to make more money. As we get all that stuff, if I can find anything that I can add value to your life as a syndicate member, I'm going to do it. And then, of course, like I told you before, we have 4 mortgage brokers that work for the syndicate that have over 7,000 private lenders. We can help you to get money for any project. If you're brand new and you want to start off just putting more money in your bank account, we can introduce you to a mortgage broker that can get you 100% financing on any property. You got to be willing to put a little time into helping me with the new people. And then it goes on, right? Because we own a company that is marketing our resorts. So if there's anybody here in hospitality, you have a little motel, a little hotel, you're looking for help scaling your resort, I'll do that for you too, for free. And that's really what it's all about. There's lots of payment options. There's lots of ways you can get involved in the business, get involved in the syndicate with us. Find it fascinating how this all started. Back when I heard Krista Freeland's speech, I realized that I want to help 10,000 people get into real estate investing. And that's what the syndicate's all about, is helping people to do that. Now, here's what's really amazing about it. As I've started scaling this and experts, people are really sophisticated real estate investors are joining, they all start helping me coach other people. So here on this picture, I'll tell you who these people are, because these are all coaches in the syndicate. I told you about Steve Mills already. Steve is our multifamily real estate expert. He has about $100 million in apartment buildings and projects going on. Simon Yan here has a $50 million multifamily real estate portfolio, and he owns a major renovation company. He's renovated over 1,000 condos. So if you ever want to flip a condo and put some cash in your pocket, Simon's your man. Natasha Fleming lives in Alberta. Natasha is a joint venture expert and a multifamily expert. Tony Marinov is our wholesaling expert. So he runs a program in our community. He teaches people wholesaling. Jesse Top is an entrepreneur. He's amazing at house flipping. He's a mortgage broker. He's one of the mortgage brokers we recommend. And then Sarah Roth is a multifamily expert. She's got restaurants that she owns, and she now owns her own resort. And then Courtney Atkinson and Melanie Meyer are top real estate agents. If you join the syndicate, everybody's helping you. That's really what it comes down to. And I'm really excited about it. Now, what I want to know is, does anybody have any questions for me? I'm willing to answer questions about anything. If you're thinking about getting in the syndicate and you've got some questions about real estate that you want to test me on, go ahead. If you have an issue, you're in the syndicate already and you have an issue you're dealing with that you'd like my advice on, just type your questions in the chat. I'll read the questions to everybody and then I'll answer them. Dominic says, I have 2 cottages, 3 rentals. Others were flips, always bought under value and sold for profit. Amen. That's what it's all about. I own a construction company for 31 years. I have issues with capital. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, in this market we're in right now, raising money for real estate deals is hard. It's harder than it has ever been. But right now, my team is raising about $1 million a month for our projects, and things are getting back on track. I have my own internal fundraisers. And if you join the syndicate, you and I will meet privately when you get started. Anybody who joins the syndicate, it starts with a 90-minute private one-on-one with me. And then during that session, we can find out exactly where you're at. And if I can help you right away, fix a fundraising issue, set up your own fundraising team, whatever you need, I'll help you with that, man. Well, how much is it to join the syndicate? We have a lot of options for people to get started. I created a model that is really designed to meet you where you're at and set up a plan for you to pay to join that it fits with what you're doing. Can this model work in another country? Would you help with that? I'm really mostly focused on helping people in Canada. Tom Elder says, how do you deal with the timeliness getting pushed? Investors getting antsy about getting their returns on time and missed interest payments. So in the world we live in today, that is happening a lot with a lot of major real estate developers. And my answer to that is communications, is trying to communicate with investors in a timely fashion and telling them what's going on and being honest with them. So here's one thing I can tell you in my own personal real estate business. I have about $30 million under management right now. It's called AUM, assets under management. That's a term in the fundraising world. And I have never lost a dime of other people's money, and I never will. I work my ass off to get these projects going, to find the solutions, to deal with problems. Any developer who tells you that they're going to do a project and it's going to win and it's going to succeed, it's going to be easy, don't invest with them. They're lying to you. Doing any type of real estate development in the world we're in today is never easy. So the way I deal with that is it's really simple. It's communications. And this is what I'll teach you. Like, communicating with your investors and building trust with them is probably the most important part of real estate investing. And be really quick to tell them when things are going good. Be even faster to tell them when things aren't going good. Most real estate people who are investing in projects are patient people. They understand there's going to be troubles. What they want is the communications in real time. And that's something that I really stress on with everybody when they join the syndicate, is set up those types of systems. Eric Stolz. Hey there, Eric here. I'm hesitant to join because of a promise of lifetime membership seems a bit unrealistic. I feel like anything lifetime can end at any moment, depends on what's going on with the company. The reason we say lifetime membership is not because we believe you're going to be coming to our calls for the rest of your life. It's because we believe that we're going to do this as long as we can for the rest of our lives. You'll be happy to know that I have 8 different coaches right now that are part of the syndicate. I showed you those people. Every one of those people is a dear friend of mine, and I trust them completely. And you want to know the types of conversations I've had with them privately behind closed doors? I've had conversations with them where I've said, if God forbid anything ever happened to me, I was flying on a plane and the plane crashed, or there was some horrific accident where my life was taken, I have a contract. I have documents in place that says the syndicate will be turned over to them and they'll keep doing it. And that's a very, very important part of the syndicate for me, because we want to keep this going. So don't look at lifetime access. Don't look at it like it's some type of ploy to get you to spend money. And I don't blame you for thinking that way, because Lord knows people have been screwed over and lied to about things before. Look at it more so from the perspective of learning. And what I mean by that is, look at it like this. We're going to be there for you as long as you need us to be there for you. And you can bring your spouse into this. You can bring your kids into this. You could, in 10 years from now, get bored with it, not want it. Your kids might keep going on with it. When we say lifetime access, what we're trying to do is we're trying to make this affordable for every member, and trying to give you the ability to take what you need from it. Here's the other thing I want you to know. When we first started this, most people would tell you that the biggest benefit they're getting out of this is learning from me about real estate investing, and most importantly about fundraising. Now that it's grown to the maturity level that it is, people say the most important thing they get out of the syndicate is the relationships they build with other people. Could you please provide me documentation outlining how your project would be structured and how your team would support the design and execution? I'm planning on developing an eightplex building with a focus on minimizing overall investment. I would appreciate a clear explanation of how this could be achieved efficiently. That's really simple. First of all, before you buy anything, find the land you want to build the building on and come up with a full business plan so you know exactly what the whole thing is going to cost. Once you know the whole thing that's going to cost, you figure out what it's going to be worth. And you can do that using a real estate agent who will get comparables for you. And if you're going to double the value, if it's going to cost, let's say it's going to cost you $5 million to build that eightplex. When it's finished, it's worth $9 million. That's a deal worth pursuing. All that figuring out with the math, that's called underwriting. You need to do all your underwriting before you put an offer in to buy the property. Now you put an offer in to buy the property. Number one rule when you're buying development real estate, like the properties to build things on, long closings. You need a 7 to 8 month closing. So you put that in your offer. If they won't accept it, walk away from the deal. The only way to do this right is you need the time to do it, because you got to raise the capital for the project, number one. Number two, you got to make sure you can get everything approved. And you do that. When you do an 8-month closing, you do a condition period of 4 months. So you have 4 months before you waive your conditions. That gives you the time to do all your due diligence, all your work, and raise your capital. Then you raise your capital, hire a construction management company to build the building for you, and finish the building, and open it up. It's really that simple. But there's a lot of detail in what happens. And so for anybody that's doing development real estate, when you're doing the project, just come to the Zoom calls every week and we'll walk people through it. Did I miss an update on my projects? No, Tom, I wasn't planning on doing an update on my projects today, but I can tell you our Hay Bay Resort construction teams will be back on site in the next week or two. I had a great meeting with our lenders yesterday who are lending us the money to do it. Should be opening in the fall. The Lake St. Peter Resort should be opening in late May. The Chelton Beach Resort is it's the largest Nordic spa in Atlantic Canada. We're building it on PEI. It's scheduled to open in the summer of 2027. There's the short one. Hey, here's what I'll ask you guys. For anybody that's in the syndicate, tell me what you think. You know what you get when you join the syndicate better than anybody. Tell me what you think is the most important part, the biggest benefit you get for joining the syndicate. Go into the chat and just type it out for me. I'd love to know what you say it is. Networking. Kenneth Dodd says it right away. Networking. Additionally, if I bring a project to your team, I would like you to handle the full design, including clear timelines, allocations. The Investors Growth Syndicate is not employees of your company. We're not going to design your projects for you. We're not going to do your plans for you. We're all independent real estate investors. But what I can promise you is I will teach you how to do that. I will help you get set up with the right architects. If you're going to do this, the design of your project, you have to hire an architectural firm to do this. You want to make sure it's an architectural firm who already has experience in your municipality. They're going to write the plans for you. They're going to get your project approved and they're going to get you all your permits to build. I'm going to walk you through all that stuff and make sure that it all goes well for you, but I'm going to teach you how to do it. We don't do the work for anybody. That would be stupid of me to do the work for you. If you think about it, I want to make you independent. I want to help you to get into this, to do it right, learn everything that I know so that you can do it on your own. But here's what I can promise you. It obviously, from your questions, and I know you sent that privately to the host or panelist, but I'll read it to everybody. It says, could you please provide documentation outlining how the project would be structured and how your team would support the design and execution process? I'm planning on to develop an 8-plex building with a focus on minimizing overall investment. I would appreciate a clear explanation of how this could be achieved efficiently and cost effectively. Additionally, if I bring a project to your team, I would like you to handle the full design, including a clear timeline and allocation of required resources, ensuring the plan is structured and satisfactory from start to finish. That would be absolutely stupid of me to do. My goal is to help you learn these skills so you can be independent and build it yourself. Why would I do it for you? If I was going to do that, I'd do it for myself. That it defeats the purpose of the syndicate altogether. But here's what I can promise you. If you join the syndicate, on our private call when you get started, I'll outline this whole thing for you and I'll help you to do it. I'll tell you what to do first. And then you come to the Zoom call and say, okay, Ken, I did that thing. We'll do the next thing. I'll walk you through the whole project. I'll even help you raise all the money for it. But I won't do it for you. Colin Learn says, I want a sincere thank you, Ken, for being so gracious, welcoming, supporting of newbies, aspiring real estate investors. You're very kind of you. I really appreciate you, Colin. Now, listen, if there's anybody here right now that is not part of the syndicate and you are not already talking to one of our sales managers, Mike Erikel is the director of our onboarding team. You can see he just put a link in the chat. If you click on that link, let me show you what happens. So I'm going to share my screen. You click on that link, you're going to put your information in there. So I'm going to say test, and I'm going to put a phone number that I don't even have anymore. So none of you guys, don't worry about trying to take it because it doesn't exist. And then I'm going to put test@rogers.com. That doesn't exist. But you put that information in there, and then it's going to come to the calendar. And so what you do is just find a time on there that works. You click on that, you hit confirm, and there you go, your appointment's booked. And then you want to click on this and add it to your calendar that you don't forget. So I can put that in my calendar there. Now, the most important part of this, friends, is once you book the appointment, then whoever you have the appointment booked with from my team, they're going to call you. We've got 4 people that are unbelievable human beings that will help you get all your questions answered. If you want to talk to me again, they can arrange that. But they'll give you the numbers. They'll help you come up with a financial plan to get into the syndicate that works for your budget. Eric says, hey, Ken, thanks for addressing my questions. I feel like access to private capital investors would be incredibly helpful. Eric, if you join the syndicate, brother, I have 4 mortgage brokers that have access to 7,000 people with private capital. We'll hook you up with them. They have never failed helping somebody to get the money. And then when you get further down the track and you're doing bigger things, I'll help you with that as well. What is the lender's appeal? Why are they doing it? Because they like to make money, lending money. You know, they charge pretty significant interest rates, but they have very low funding situations. And that makes all the difference in the world. So anyway, I have another meeting coming up. I want to say thank you to everybody for being here. If you have any more questions, go into the chat and go ahead and ask your questions. Then we're going to have to hang this up. If you're already talking to one of my onboarding specialists, one of my sales managers, just get back in touch with them. If you are interested in knowing more about the syndicate, Lynn Morrow, just go ahead and click on that link and book an appointment to talk to one of my people. And it'll be very easy for you. Can you please share some more insights like how to join? All you have to do to join is click on that link that Mike Arakel just put in the chat and book an appointment to talk to one of my team members, and they'll walk you through the details of that. It's been great hanging out with everybody. I hope you all join the syndicate. We'll see you inside.